Hello! So for today's video I thought I would start like a kind of Halloween series, and so as you can see I've done like some kind of skull, cracked face, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to do a kind of like sped up video, time lapse of me doing this, and I'll show you like all the products I've used. So yeah, hope you enjoy.
So I started off just with a clean face and I put on my moisturiser and lip balm. This is really important because the face paint can sometimes dry out your skin, and I get really dry skin anyway, so I put moisturiser on before I put anything on and just let it dry a bit. I'm then just using a white eyeliner pencil to just draw out the shapes of the cracks that I want on my face. I then filled each of the cracks in with a Snazaroo white face paint and just a normal paintbrush. I left some areas blank that I knew I'd be painting black later, because if I painted it all white, then when I used the black it would just mix and create a grey. So I left a space around the eye and around the nose because I knew that there'd be the hollows of those areas. I then went over it a couple of times, just added a few layers, so it wasn't so patchy and it was a very bright white. I used a black Snazaroo face paint and a thin paintbrush just to create the teeth. If you make any mistakes, it's quite easy just to fix it up with the white face paint again if you let the black dry a little. To create the teeth, I just drew lines down roughly where my teeth are in my mouth, and they got smaller as they go back towards the back of my head, because this gives the illusion that they're going in towards your head. Then I used the thin paintbrush to create V's on the top row and upside down V's on the bottom row. I then used a black eyeshadow just to go over any of the black that I drew, just to kind of set it, and then I used a kind of small, thin, fluffy brush to blend all the black out on the V's and the upside down V's, just to make it look more like 3D. Then going back in with the black face paint and another paintbrush, I just went and filled in all of the areas where I left blank before, which creates the hollows of where the eye sockets would be, and also where the areas where there's no bone on your nose. Then using the black eyeshadow and a small fluffy brush, I just kind of went over all of the black areas just to make them extra dark. Then using a black eyeliner pencil, I just filled in my waterlines just to make sure around my eye area it was completely black. And this is when I realised I just basically blinded myself and I couldn't see anything out that eye for a good few minutes. I then just shaded around all of the black areas just to make kind of the bone around it look more risen over it. I then went back in with the white just to kind of clean everything up. I then remembered you would have a dark area around the jawline because there's a hollow there. And also, as you can see, my camera decided to stop filming and I can't tell when my camera stops filming, so I didn't realise and started to shade around the top crack. Then using a black eyeshadow and the pointed fluffy brush, I just blended everything out to create more depth. I blended it over some of the teeth just to make them look more sunken into my face. Then using a thin paintbrush, I used the black eyeshadow to go and outline all of the cracks. Then using the pointed fluffy brush again, I blended around all of those lines I just created in towards the centre of the cracks. This was to make the skin look like it was casting shadow over it. Then using my finger and the white face paint, I just dabbed around all of the areas I just shaded to kind of make sure they were nicely blended into the white. Again, my camera stopped recording here, but what I did is I got a black eyeshadow and the pointed fluffy brush and just kind of blended some faint lines, leaving a gap outside all the cracks, and this kind of helps give the illusion that the skin is slightly raised over the cracks. And then I went in with my foundation and a small gel eyeliner brush and mixed in some white face paint into my foundation, just on my hand. I then painted this in the gap that I left between the shadow and the cracks, just to kind of give a highlight and emphasise the fact that the skin is overlapping where the skull is. Then just to finish everything off, I used my finger to blend everything out. At this point I could have done something to the other eye, like maybe a different eyeshadow look, but I decided just to leave it as it is. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like if you enjoyed it and don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.